A big breakthrough in the Ahmedabad plane crash probe. Officials probing the crash have found Cockpit Voice Recorder, or the CVR. US and Indian probe officials reached the crash site today. The CVR records all sounds in the cockpit, including the pilot and co-pilot conversations, cockpit sounds like alarms, engine noise and switch clicks. Radio communications with the air traffic control as well are recorded in the CVR. This helps to identify human errors or technical failures or even miscommunications that may have contributed to the crash. Meanwhile, days after Aviation Minister said that the government has formed a high-level panel to probe the crash, the panel, headed by Union Home Secretary, chaired a very crucial meet. The meeting is attended by Secretary of Civil Aviation, the Home Secretary of Gujarat, the Directorate General of Civil Aviation, the representatives of IAF, Intelligence Bureau and several other bureaucrats. Probe panel will analyze flight data and witness statements. The panel will also examine human and environmental factors and will also analyze whether standard operating procedures were followed or not. Remember, the panel has to submit its probe report within 3 months.
हमारे टीम की तरफ से सुबह जैसे कि सुबह 6 बजे से मैं यहाँ पे प्रेजेंट हूँ और हमारे इंजीनियरिंग डिपार्टमेंट के 40 लेबर यहाँ पर प्रेजेंट है। एयरक्राफ्ट एक्सीडेंट इन्वेस्टिगेशन ब्यूरो की टीम का हम वेट कर रहे थे और उनके इंस्ट्रक्शन मिलने पर हमारी टीम ने जो कि हमारे 40 से ज़्यादा लेबर और हमारे इंजीनियरिंग डिपार्टमेंट की पूरी टीम यहाँ पर तैनात थी और हमारी टीम ने एफडीआर टाइप डिवाइस से कभी फाइंड आउट किया है। एआईबी और एयर इंडिया की टीम उसे इन्वेस्टिगेशन के लिए चेक करने के लिए लेके गई है। वो कंफर्म करके हमें बताएगी कि एग्जैक्टली उनको जो चाहिए था वो वही है कि नहीं है।
Now let's try and understand what is a CVR, or a cockpit voice recorder. Well, it captures audio from the cockpit and is one of the most crucial tools in investigating any aircraft crash. Here's what it will reveal: communications about the flight, decisions that were made at that moment, and any issues that were encountered, transmissions to and from the air traffic control or the ATC. Alarm systems, the sounds of all the alarm systems also get recorded in it, like ground proximity warnings if there were engine failure alerts, stall warnings, all will be recorded in the CVR. Any mechanical noises such as unusual sounds like the engine sputtering or any structural creaks or any explosions, all of this gets recorded. Engine power and performance, for example, throttle settings and engine RPM, all these details data will be recorded in this CVR. Control surface positions, for example, rudder, elevator, how are these, everything, all these details will get registered in the CVR. Autopilot and flight mode settings, everything, all these details which are crucial for the investigation will be revealed through this CVR. Now, for more on this, let's cut across to Amit Bharadwaj, who's joining us from Ahmedabad. Amit, we would like to know how important is this CVR to the investigation, and also do tell us what happened in that panel meeting that was supposed to be held today of the highest officers of the Civil Aviation Ministry and others.
Well, Anjali, to break it down for our viewers, three of the most important, material evidence in any crash of aircraft are the emergency locator, the black box, and the CVR. So in this particular case, because we knew where exactly the accident has happened, so emergency locator was not that important. Hence, the search for the black box and CVR was being carried out by different agencies on the ground, and the nodal agency of the probe is obviously Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau. The black box was recovered on 13th of June itself. That recorded usually black box is a living evidence of a aircraft, what exactly was transpiring all through the journey, all of that is recorded in the black box itself. The cockpit voice recorder, which has been now recovered, which has been confirmed by the union government as well. The cockpit voice recorder will essentially give out the details of what was happening within the cockpit, the conversation between the pilot and the co-pilot, whether the engines were working properly or not, whether it was manual mistake, a failure of the engine, some other aspect, all of it would be recorded in the CVR. So if you get the data of the black box decoded, which is FDR, and the CVR data is decoded, so you can actually draw a sequence as to what happened when, which led to the AI 171 crash. So this is a very crucial development in augmentation of the entire probe, and in the days to come the prima facie decoding of the black box as well as the CVR will be done in order to connect the dots and to draw a timeline what happened, when it happened, and why exactly AI 171 crashed. Now, having said that, coming to the second focal point, the high-level meeting that is being taken in the national capital, what we are given to understand through our sources is that in the first meeting today, the different stakeholders were actually called with their basic report about the crash. So essentially, when did they get to know about the crash? What exactly was the response? What did they see on the ground? And how was the relief and rescue work carried out? And in this particular sequence, today, the most crucial developments or the reports that would be submitted would be by Gujarat government representatives, the local representatives out here, because they were the first responders in the accident case. The ATC report of Ahmedabad could be also taken up today. But certainly the mandate of the high-level committee is different from the AIB investigation which is being carried out. And that is why this particular committee has been asked to wrap up their investigation by 3 months and prepare a consolidated report, because that would lead to enhanced air safety ecosystem in the country, and the takeaways could be also taken up by the international civil aviation industry. Back to you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Amit, for those details. So, very important meeting underway, and also the CVR is now a crucial piece of evidence that will be analyzed.